All right, this is your percent application finding the part notes. Percents can be helpful in solving real-world problems. Consider thinking through the questions below to help you organize the information and set up the proportion. What information are you given? What are you solving for? Is that represented by the part, the whole, or the percent? Does your solution make sense in the context of the problem? At Paulson Middle School, 75% of the 6th grade class is making a B or higher. If there are 24 students in the 6th grade class, then how many are making a B or higher? So what information do we know? 75% is getting a B or higher. And we also know there are 24 students in the class. What information do we need to know? How many students have an A or B, because that's a B or higher. Are we looking for the part, the whole, or the percent? They gave us the whole number of the class. They gave us the percent of students, so we are looking for the part. I'm not going to sketch a tape diagram. I'm actually going to set up a proportion. So we are looking for the number of students out of the 24 students in class that are getting a B or higher. We know that 75% of the class is getting a B or higher. So 75% over 100 equals x over 24. Cross multiply and divide. 24 times 75 is 1,800. And we divide that by 100, and we get x equals 18. What is the solution? 18 students are getting a B or higher. Number 1, a campus survey states that 40% of the students ride the bus. If there are 300 students, how many ride the bus? So how many out of 300 ride the bus? 40% ride the bus out of 100% of the students. Cross multiply and divide. 300 times 40 equals 12,000, and we divide that by 100, and we get 120 students. 120 students are riding the bus out of the 300 kids at school. In Janet's neighborhood, 66.6 repeating percent of the households have a landline phone. If there are 80 households in the neighborhood, how many have a landline phone? So how many houses out of 80 houses in the neighborhood? Well, 66.6 repeating percent over 100%. So we cross multiply and divide. 66.6 times 80 divided by 100. I get 53.328. So we're going to keep our whole number and say that about 53 houses have a landline phone. Use your understanding of tape diagrams and proportions to solve the percent problems below. There are 80 local Little League teams. I know that there are 80 Little League teams. 30% of them have players under the age of 7. 30% of teams have kids under age 7. I need to know how many teams have players under the age of 7. This is what we need to know. How many teams have players under the age of 7? So we're looking for the number of teams, but we know that there are 80 total teams. We know that 30% of the total teams have kids under the age of 7. So cross multiply and divide. 80 times 30 equals 2,400. Divide that by 100, and you get 24 teams will have kids under the age of 7. In Seattle, Washington, it is said to rain 66% of the time. So, rains. Since there are 365 days in a year, about how many days is it expected to rain? You need to know about how many days will it rain? X over all the days in the year. And it says it's going to rain about 66% of the time. Percent always goes over 100. So 365 times 66 equals 24,090. We divide that by 100, and we get X equals 240.9. So if we round that, it will rain about 241 days. At the post office, 45% of packages ship as priority mail. 45% are priority. If 160 packages are shipped today, how many will not go as priority mail? We know there's 160 total per day. I need to know how many not priority. So if I know 45% of my packages will ship as priority, priority plus not priority has to equal 100%. So 100% minus 45% means 55% of the packages will ship as not priority mail. So that's the number I'm actually going to use. So 55% out of 100 equals one number over 160 in total packages. We want to know how many of those 160 packages aren't priority mail, because 45% are. So we're using the other number, 55. 160 times 55 equals 8,800 divided by 100. That means X equals 88. 88 packages not priority mail. Steph Curry plays for the Golden State Warriors and has a 90% free throw shooting record. So makes 90% of the time. Makes 90% of his shots. If he shot 12 free throws in the game, approximately how many did he miss? How many hoops did he miss? And plan and work. Listen, this is one of those problems where it gave us the percent, but we're really looking for the opposite. So if he makes the shots 90% of the time, that means he misses 10% of the time. So percent over 100, these are his misses, equals x over 12. He took 12 shots in the game and he missed 10% of the time. So 12 times 10 equals 120. Divide that by 100, x equals 1.2. So he missed about one shot. Missed one free throw.